Okay.
Oh my gosh. Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm Rob.
What's up, dog?
And I'm Andi.
And this is
Everybody
Smells Like Up Dog. A conference room.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, guys. This is just a train wreck, isn't it?
That's
No,
great.
it worked.
No,
It
this
worked.
is
Like
great.
we moved on,
That's
and
really good.
we're pretending this is normal.
It has totally thrown me off my shtick, and so I'm like, I don't even know where to go, but here we go. As always, I want to say welcome to the show. Thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure you subscribe wherever you get your podcast, and make sure you get the episodes as soon as they drop. And if you leave us a review on iTunes, and it's a 5-star, we're going to read it live on the air. And tonight we have 2. I was going to just do
baby.
1. Okay, I was only going to read one of them, save one for next week.
Okay.
But we need
That's
to...
because we already know somebody this week is going to leave us another 5-star. So
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, totally. But we need to read them both. So we'll get to that in a second. Make sure you tell a friend about the show. Great tangible way to help out, and it's just a way to keep the show moving and growing and stuff.
Hey, and it's fun for you guys. You guys can talk about it.
That's right.
Next
That's
time
right.
we see
You
each
can
other.
listen together and be like, "Oh my God, that guy Rob, he's the funniest guy on the show."
And he's like the coolest thing
We'll
I've
talk about
ever
that later.
known.
Yeah.
And Adam's just there.
Oh my
I'm
God.
just here somewhere.
It's so weird.
Make sure that you check us out on Patreon at patreon.com/anofficepod. $3 a month gets you access to the after party at Poor Richard's. Tonight, in honor of Jim's secret, tonight during Poor Richard's, we're going to talk about our deepest, darkest secrets.
Y'all, we spilled
Even the secrets
beans.
we don't want to tell other
Yeah,
people.
I actually told other people's secrets.
We pulled a Kevin
Sorry.
and spilled all the beans,
All of them.
All the M&Ms.
That's
all
right.
over the
jar.
floor.
all the chili.
One of them involved underwear.
Okay, take it easy. They got to pay for it. And speaking of that, we also want to say thank you and we love you to our sponsors for this episode, our $20 patrons, our assistants to the regional manager, talking about Saf and Brian Cavasso.
It was your underwear we were talking about.
That's right.
That's right. We
You
told
get
everybody
a
about your
special
underwear.
pair of everybody in the conference room underwear now.
That's right. It has
Just this one.
Adam's face on the butt.
Yeah.
Mouth open, thumbs up.
Oh my gosh.
That was good.
Okay.
I like that one. Andy's dying now.
Okay, so speaking of the 5-star reviews, I said we have 2 we're going to read. So let's read the first one because it's awesome. It ties to last episode. So the title of the episode, or the title of the review was "Dwight, You Ignorant Slut," and it was by Bailey C. 1894. Okay, now here's the bod of the review. It says, "User Drenchlove checking in. I love your guys' podcast. I finally more excellent content I can binge. You guys are super funny. I've subscribed and will definitely be a regular listener. I also got pretty excited when I found out that you all are from Utah. I too reside in the state of fry sauce." So this is the person that we
Yum.
gave a Dundie to last episode.
Oh, what?
No way.
Yeah,
Oh,
from
I
Reddit.
didn't, okay, I didn't check. I
that's
saw their
bad.
username and I was like, oh, I need to go see.
Yes. So they heard about it and gave us a review and stuff. So we really appreciate that.
Oh yeah,
That's
okay.
awesome.
Oh,
So-
awesome! Very
community.
cool. That
Full
was
circle.
a good post.
There you go. Now, we also received a second 5-star review.
Okay.
And this one is titled "Great Stuff." The user
Sure.
is E and then an L in quotes, RR. ELRR. And this is what they said in the bod. It says, "Great podcast, even for a casual office viewer. One of the hosts is obviously the funniest, but all 3 are enjoyable."
Thanks, Al.
Okay, take it easy. But all 3 are enjoyable to listen to. Also, their fun facts about the tiniest details in the show are a delight. Now,
So who's the funniest?
that's the question. That's the $1
That
million.
is not the question.
That is the
It is
$3 Patreon question. Who's the funniest?
Yo se puedo.
That's true. Yeah. What's just,
Yo se puedo.
oh,
I said yes,
I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn, but rid it do. I think it might be Andy.
maybe it is. But we just got a couple episodes. We were talking about how we ignore her jokes and don't talk about
Those are the zingers, I think. That
The
Maybe
zingers.
that is
What
the
did they say? Okay,
zingers.
read it again. Let me see.
it says, okay, great podcast, even for a casual
Blah,
office
blah, blah,
viewer.
blah, blah.
One of the hosts is
One.
obviously
Me.
the funniest.
Okay, yes.
That has like, and it's the way that is structured. It kind of seems like they're saying Rob.
Get her on the phone. Who is
It
this
kind of
person?
seems like they're saying Rob, but anyway.
The
but,
way that it's structured, they
But-
kind of are trying to say
but
Rob
all
Lambert.
three are enjoyable to listen to.
So at least we're all enjoyable.
Indeed. Also,
good.
their fun facts about the tiniest details in the show are a delight.
Y'all, I
Mm-hmm.
hate to break it to you. I can't think of anybody else it could be but me.
Andy can't.
You might be right.
Doesn't know
You
what
might be right.
anything else besides that.
So there you go. So 2 5-star reviews.
Okay, it could be
Very
nice.
cool. And now as we're sitting...
Okay, I do have to say one thing. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
With the fun facts, if she's connecting that to the funny person, then it could be Adam because he always brings facts.
He is our
Here's our fact.
he's our resident nerd.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you go. It's the glasses.
Yeah.
You know, I like to believe that they left it vague so all of us thinks that it's each of us, and so we're all just oh, it's so nice.
Secretly,
Get
we'll
this
know.
person
Either
on
that
the phone. I
or-
want to know the truth.
Either that or they're trying to sow seeds of discord into this podcast. What are you doing?
Oh no.
Anyways, okay, so then a DM hits our Instagram inbox
Oh.
that sort of rocked our world just a smidge. Okay, and it happened to be from a person that we know personally. Okay,
Person we know personally.
Elizabeth, aka Liz,
Oh yeah.
ELRR. I'm just drawing lines here.
It's
just,
cool that people that know us actually listen to our show. That's
just
pretty
drawing
cool.
lines. But she says in her DM, she says literally retracting my 5-star review.
Nuh-uh.
Pretty sure it's her.
Wow, dramatic.
Fine, she can
As
go.
Dwight
Liz.
Schrute would say,
No,
We don't
I
want
like
mystery
her.
solved.
I like her.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, she says literally retracting my 5-star review because none of you know that the E in Chuck E. Cheese stands for entertainment.
Stop.
Huh.
It could not. Can you imagine being named Chuck Entertainment Cheese?
Charles Entertainment Cheese. Now,
But look at.
ladies and gentlemen, I
no.
want to take us over to
But this
Wikipedia because
Mm-hmm.
not only is his given name Charles Entertainment Cheese.
Okay, we were right about the Charles, though. That should give us at least 3 stars.
But this guy has a backstory.
No, he's
And it's
he's
tragic.
got a whole life.
So let me.
Does it involve a trash can?
I cannot stress enough that this is legitimately the backstory that this group of people who launched this chain of restaurants for kids said, let's have a backstory
Oh
for
my
our
gosh.
flagship
You know
character.
what's funny? So I'm spilling the beans a little bit for those of you who are not a Patreon listener. Rob is our emotional one.
Easy.
I know. There you go. Spoiler alert a little bit. I think that if we read this story aloud, Rob might cry.
Okay, take it easy. You never know.
Can
Maybe.
we put some soft music?
I
behind
will
it?
Yeah.
I will put like a nice little piano music bed in 3, 2, 1. This is the legitimate backstory of Mr. Charles Entertainment Cheese.
Entertainment for real.
It says Chuck's official backstory is that he is an orphaned mouse who does not know his own birthday.
Oh.
His orphanage was called Saint, and I'm not making this up, Marineras.
For sure.
Okay. To make up for never having a birthday party of his own, he hosts parties for children.
Now I'm creeped
Not
out.
creepy.
Okay. After winning a Pong tournament, Chuck
Pong. What is Pong?
It's a video game.
Pong,
retro
like the Atari, like
nerd game.
No idea.
it's like table tennis or ping pong, but it was on Atari.
Yeah, classic.
It's like the classic video game.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. After winning a Pong tournament, Charles moved to New York and started working as a singer in an Italian restaurant where he also met and befriended a musically inclined chef named Pasquale
Yeah, sure.
as the drummer. Eventually, he moved to California and created his own restaurant franchise, with Pasquale becoming his star chef and later joining his band. The two would go on to find others to join the band, eventually recruiting a talented vocalist chicken named Helen Henny
Okay.
and a purple keyboardist monster named Mr. Munch.
Sure.
And then in parentheses, who absolutely loves pizza, by the way. And a country music loving guitarist, bloodhound named Jasper T. Jowls.
You know, if you are a mouse on the road, you would collect those kind of hooligans.
This makes so much sense now. You guys, do you ever take your kids to Chuck E. Cheese?
No.
No, I've
Okay.
been to Chuck E. Cheese back in the day.
Back in the day.
Like
I
as a
think you
kid.
forget we're not like the regular parents. We're the cool kids.
We take them to Trader Joe's. And
We actually do. But
Dude, I remember
scary
going
mouse.
to Chuck E. Cheese, and yeah, you do video game stuff, and then you go and eat pizza, and then there'd be the thing where they do the show, and
Yeah, the
it's so
animatronics.
creepy.
Oh my gosh, it's the thing that's crazy for me is like sitting in a marketing meeting, like trying to figure out how to like introduce this character. They couldn't just be like, "Yo, he's a party animal mouse, and he loves to eat pizza and play video games."
As
No.
somebody is outlining this sob story, the people across the table are going, yes, give me more.
Instead-
That's it.
Instead of party animal mouse who loves to eat pizza and play video games, it's an orphan mouse who doesn't know his own birthday, so
Yeah.
he hosts birthday parties for children.
Yep.
Creeped
Wow.
out.
And his given Christian name is Charles Entertainment Cheese. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
goodness. What did we think it was? Edward? I like Edward
Yeah.
better. Charles Edward.
Okay,
It's so
Rob, did you see the
distinguished.
footnotes down here that the reason why he was a winner of Pong tournament is because it was
Did
a
he cheat?
restaurant founded by Nolan Bushnell, the founder of Atari, in 1977. So that's how the
They
character
made
was created.
so many connections. These
Wow.
people wanted us to love this mouse. Wow. To like feel
Crazy.
connected,
There
to
you go.
feel sorry. And no, we're just feeling a little scared
Yes.
and we want to run. And
Is it weird that he
I don't like him anymore.
is it weird that he like the way that it's laid out here, it sounds like he initially like he was just an orphan mouse who didn't know his birthday, so he just started hosting random parties for children.
Yeah, like where?
Then he won a Pong tournament. Then he moved to New York to be a singer. Then he met a chef. Then he moved to California and opened up the franchise. But like
Yeah.
initially, he was
What a
just an orphan
complicated
mouse
life.
who was like hosting parties.
Timeline isn't super clean, but yeah.
Oh, Chuck, what's going on with you?
Oh, you know what? Liz, I love you a lot. A whole lot. You can retract the 5 stars because I don't need that story.
We didn't need to know.
Yeah, no, that was scary.
Yeah.
I'm going to have nightmares about Chuck E. Cheese.
There you go. All right. So, Charles Entertainment Cheese, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So, tonight we're going to break down Season 2, Episode 13, The Secret. We're also going to take a look at the Jim's prank leaderboard. No prank this time. Maybe a prank pulled on Jim,
Yeah, I think
sort
so.
of. Maybe.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that. We're also going to head over to Dunder Mifflin subreddit and take a look at some good quality content from Mr. Adam Jones. But before we do that, are you guys ready to jump in?
Let's do it.
Oh, yeah.
Shall we? All right, tonight, Jim has a secret. Oscar has a special friend. Dwight is on the hunt. And Mike doesn't want to end up as a call girl in Malibu. This is Season 2, Episode 13, The Secret. All right, so the episode opens, and Jim is sort of like, it seems like just finishing up a joke with Pam at her desk, and Michael walks in. And this is where we get sort of the classic updog scenario, okay? Michael wants to be let in on the joke, so Jim asks him, does it smell like updog in here? And then
Yes.
you get the what's up dog. Then Michael proceeds to try it on everybody in the office and completely butchers it.
Sure. My favorite is Stanley. I'm on the
Oh,
phone.
no. What's that jacket made of, Updog? I'm on the phone.
Which I will say, that's actually not a bad one to say. Is that jacket made of
Yes.
updog? Like
Yeah.
he went off the rails
What's
a little
up,
bit. He finally gets Dwight, and then in the clincher, he just botches it. And Dwight is like all about. He's like, yeah, "I'm good. How are you? Good to see you." Dwight."
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So then we find out that it is spring cleaning in the office in January.
Yeah.
Because if you do it now, then you don't have to do anything in the spring.
Nothing.
ahead.
Empty brain.
And Michael has a great motto for that's driving this. A cluttered desk is a cluttered mind, but an empty desk.
Empty
Empty
mind.
mind.
We don't get to finish it, but Dwight finishes it with an empty mind. Michael,
Because sometimes he starts a sentence and he doesn't even know where it's going.
Yes.
he vehemently is like, I was not going to go there, but I think we.
I agree, though. I cannot stand it when my desk is messy.
Sure.
You're
me
clean.
too.
You're a clean desk kind of guy.
Oh,
Adam Jones.
absolutely. Oh, 100%.
As am I.
I am a messy desk man.
Oh,
That you are.
no. No.
It's just like the creativity flows out of the.
Do you have
It's
a
like
de-
trash
Do you have a
over
desk
here,
right now?
trash
Because
over
last time I
there.
went into your office, you had a table.
Okay, I don't.
Same.
So technically, right now I have one of those like plastic like breakdown tables.
You still have that.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay, in his defense,
I will
it's
get a
because
desk.
somebody, a coworker named Adam Jones, stole the desk.
I took
That he-
my desk.
that he
with-
purchased.
I took my desk,
Um,
left him an orphan.
I will get. That's right.
Jeez, that's the only way that you resonate with Mr. Charles Entertainment.
I don't have my own desk, so I'm going to start giving desks to small children.
Try out my
They're
desk,
like-
kids.
And
Oh my
then
gosh.
like hit the road.
That's right.
Start a band
That's right.
on a desk.
That's right. Just a band that sits behind desks the whole time. Ooh,
Oh.
that's not bad.
Has
Okay.
it ever been
Could be
done?
very hipster. People could be into it. Anyways, so it's spring cleaning. Dwight is sort of like in charge and is like giving all the different tasks to people. So Meredith is going to do the urinal cakes in the men's room, which
Yeah, it's a little weird.
she probably wouldn't be too.
I love that she
She
didn't
would like it.
yeah,
protest.
she's not upset about
I would pull a Stanley and just go, no.
that. I ain't doing that.
I'm doing that.
Kevin is going to do the file drawers. Oscar's going to do dusting. Angela's going to do the kitchen. But they find out that Oscar is not there and that he called in sick. And Angela and Dwight are like, he's up to something. And they have this
is
moment
Not okay.
where they're just like, the fact that we both think that Oscar is up to shenanigans, I kind of want to make out with you,
Means
was
that
what
we
their
were-
eyes said. Like, we're going to bust somebody and maybe get him fired. I'm so hot for you right now is kind of what that says.
Mm-hmm.
So
That does sound pretty fun. Not for that person.
busting somebody and then making
Gosh,
out.
I sound really evil today.
You are Dwight Schrute. What are you doing? So then Dwight reports to Michael and is like, hey, Oscar is called in sick on a Friday. Something's up.
On cleaning Friday of all Fridays.
That's right. And they're going to give Oscar a call. One of the things that was interesting that I noticed on my second watch through on this is that Ryan is like sitting on... Initially, I didn't notice that Ryan is like sitting on Michael's floor organizing his shelves.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
He's just like hiding behind his desk.
Because we all thought that was normal. We
Yeah.
were like, yep, there he is.
There he is. But they decide to give Oscar a call at home, and we figure out that, Oscar is saying he has the flu. He sounds sick. And Michael's upset because, man, we could have, and I quote, we could have really used that famous Hispanic cleaning ethic.
Sure.
Andy, can you explain that for us?
When you came over, I was wiping my table and sweeping
I
the
got
floor.
I did get to
What do
see
you
it.
think?
Yeah, she was like, it's messy up here, and she started cleaning. So I guess that's
As we're talking,
Which our,
big heart to heart says I'm sweeping.
I feel like our messy house is like when somebody hires in like professional cleaners for their house. And
yes.
I don't
No, yeah, no, your house does not get dirty.
Yeah. So they ask Oscar his symptoms, which when you're a boss and somebody calls in sick, that's always a good thing to do. Like, oh, you're sick? Okay, prove it.
Yeah,
I know, my
Yeah.
gosh.
They're asking him his symptoms and...
Adam, when was the last time you called in sick and you weren't?
ooh,
I don't think I ever did technically.
that's the right
Is it
answer.
because you think your boss
This
is
is going
listening?
out into the ether, so that's the right
You want to
answer.
know something smart that Walmart does? Did you know I worked at a Walmart at one point?
I
No.
think you mentioned it once. You were the hugger person at the door, right?
The sticker.
Just kidding.
Although I would be very good at
The greeter?
I would be very good at the
You
greeter.
would.
I could do that. They have
That's his retirement point.
It's actually really smart. They have a call-in line, so they said they had too many issues.
A
Where somebody-
request line?
Well, no, no, not like you're thinking. No, they said they had too many issues where somebody would, when an employee would say, I called in sick. The manager said they never called in sick. Like he said, she said.
Oh,
so
okay.
there is a Walmart I'm sick number. And you call it, and they say, what is your store number? You type it in, and they say transferring to the manager. So it's recorded.
it's
The call is
tracked.
like recorded and tracked that you called in.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, it's really smart, huh?
Yeah.
That's that's protecting.
Wait, you're saying, is that your
their
job?
employees.
That was your job,
Employees.
is to be the sick
No,
call
no.
take? Oh,
No,
okay.
I was in electronics.
Oh, baby. You were slinging iPods and
Oh yeah, iPods and
all that good
TVs
stuff.
and
Zunes.
stuff. Yeah,
Just a lot of
I was
those.
great with the older people at Walmart. That was kind of, what TV should I get?
You're like, you shouldn't get a TV, you should get a Duro Sport.
Yeah, so
So they're asking for Oscar symptoms, and Dwight is going to jump on WebMD, which is always a great idea. And
Especially
he's
for the common flu.
that's right. Yeah, he's got the chills. He's like, his head's killing him. Dwight's like, yeah, checks out. But Dwight isn't buying it. He's like, he sounded sick, which is exactly how you'd want to sound if you're faking being sick.
true.
So he wants to investigate, and surprisingly, Michael is like, yes, make this your highest priority.
What I love about that is the way he says it. I was sure he was being sarcastic, so I giggle
No.
a little. And then I'm like, oh, wait. Oh, yep. That is
yeah.
what I should have assumed for Michael
There
Scott.
you go.
He means it 100%.
I
Make
love
this
it.
your highest priority.
I love it because he says, make this the highest priority because an office can't run efficiently unless people are at their desk doing their jobs.
Sure. So,
True.
Dwight, don't do your job and go catch somebody
Yeah, and
else.
go catch somebody.
who's
Drop everything
probably
that you're doing.
very,
That's
very
what he
sick.
says, right? Drop everything
Yeah,
you're doing.
make this your priority. Oh my gosh. So then we go back out into the bullpen, and Kelly is at Pam's desk, and they're talking about the wedding. She got her veil.
Aw, giggle, giggle.
They're talking about Pam getting her veil, and she's like, "Oh my god, that's so great! Could I be a bridesmaid?"
Awkward.
Rude.
Just
If I had a dime for how many people asked me that,
asked you if they could be a bridesmaid.
I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was
You would
gonna
have
say, wow.
one dime.
I would probably
Yikes.
still be timeless.
Did you ever get asked to be a bridesmaid?
Yes.
Just to any sort of weird weddings or
Yeah.
things?
Oh, are you want this story?
Did you
No,
ever-
I can't. No, I can't.
No.
I can't.
Maybe we'll save it for Patreon sometime.
Okay, this person may not know who they are because I have been in several weddings, but I did have somebody who I didn't know very well ask
Did
me to
not-
play a big role in their wedding. Huge,
Yes.
the biggest, second to the bride.
The
Groom.
maid of
The
honor.
groom.
Oh, the groom. That's what it was.
And
So
second
you were
to the
asked to be
groom.
the maid of honor?
Oh, okay.
She
I'm just
can
picking
either
up what you
confirm
meant.
or deny
I can't
yeah.
confirm or deny that, but it was yes.
that a person who was almost a perfect stranger wanted her.
Oh no,
And
that is incredible.
I said yes.
Hey, free dinner.
and there
know.
you go. So I've been in several weddings, but that one was the most interesting.
Yeah.
And I, played a big role and hosted a lot of things and stood right beside. And then
Best dang bridesmaid.
I've never talked to them again. I
Golly,
don't even know what
is
happened
that-
to them in life.
Best dang maid of honor she
But-
could have
That
had.
is weird.
It was interesting.
It was-
Wow.
Yeah, that's the right word. Interesting.
It was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But they were doll face. Liked them a lot.
That's right.
If you're out there, say hi.
Hey there, dollface. So Kelly strangely asked if she could be a bridesmaid. Why didn't she go straight to maid of honor? That feels like a Kelly move.
I mean,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
you're
can I
gonna go
stand
for
right
it, go
beside you?
for it.
Yeah, go big or go home, Kelly.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah.
You missed your opportunity.
Okay, but she did do something very un-Kelly like and give her an out and say you don't have to answer right now.
That's true.
That's nice.
Okay, here's the thing. If Kelly was strategic, she would have went big and said, "Hey, can I be the maid of honor?" Because Pam feels like a person who would be like, "No, I'm sorry, but you could be a bridesmaid."
Yeah, almost like yeah.
Boom.
I get
Yeah,
you. Yeah,
you're
Reverse
right.
psychology.
That's your end. Yeah.
Okay.
You get somebody to do
Next
something
time I get
stupid.
married,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
gonna
Get
do,
something stupid.
I'm gonna be on to you when you ask me if you could be my maid of
There you go.
honor.
There you go. See? So then while they're having this conversation, talking about the wedding, how she's going to do her hair, she's pulling her hair down. She's going to do it with like the big curls and all that. Jim is like over there sort of like staring at Pam as she's talking about this.
Okay, I got two guys. Every girl wants to know. I've got to ask.
Okay.
Is it attractive when girls like pull their hair down and shake their head around like that?
Not
Depends on the girl.
necessarily.
Okay.
Yeah, it probably depends. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Because I thought that was weird.
so. Pam was looking a little bit like a hot mess.
Yeah. Yes.
But it can be. Yeah, it can be attractive.
It could be. Yeah.
but it's
You're
never like the
changing your
movie.
story, Adam
I wouldn't
Jones.
say by default.
Here's the thing.
That's
It's never.
what I'm trying
It's
to
never
say,
like in the
yeah.
movies where like their hair's been worn up all day and then they pull it and they shake and it like flows into this like amazing. It's
Yeah.
like it's been up there for a while, so when they pull it, it's like
And, like,
weird.
it's still
Yeah.
stuck.
It's got like a
half
funky.
back,
It's got like a funky wave
and
in
then
it.
like a line.
It's like, why does it look
that
like you've been
won't go
wearing a
away.
hat? You have not been wearing a hat.
You're
today.
right.
You know
Yeah.
what? What's funny about this is I obviously am the girl that you're most experienced with. So when you describe this, you're obviously talking about me.
Oh, baby.
So,
you don't wear
yikes.
your hair up.
How long you guys been
very
married?
much. It'll be 13 years in August.
I was gonna say 15.
Yeah.
We've been dating together for 15
Yeah.
years.
Oh.
It's 15 years in December, last December.
You could be bald and I'd be fine. So. we're
Wow.
You heard it here first,
I love you.
folks. So when
I
I
love you.
shaved my head, it's because
shaving
my
my
husband
hair.
wanted it.
good. Oh my gosh. So Jim is staring at her, and then Michael walks out and says, and I quote, "Mikey likey."
Mikey
Ew.
likey.
Ew.
That is
Gross, gross, gross.
harassment.
Yeah, he says that she should wear her hair like that more often because it's sexier.
Oh gosh.
Mm.
I don't know what I would do. What would I do?
You would probably do what Pam did and just put your hair up immediately.
Yeah.
Gosh, I would run. I would moonwalk out of that office.
Oh my gosh.
Always with the moonwalk.
I know. Honestly, one of these times I'm going to do it legit just because I say it so much.
And so then as Michael's leaving the scene and he walks by Jim, he kind of whispers, but not so much whispers, this must be torture
Torture.
for you.
Oh gosh.
Easy, Michael.
Awkward.
So then Jim, we go to sort of a cutaway of Jim basically saying, I told Michael at the booze cruise about feelings that I used to have, is the word he's using now, that I used to have for Pam. Basically, I confided in the world's worst confidant, is what he says.
That's true.
And then we have a Jim. We have a clip here. Jim decides to approach Michael, and he wants to kind of let him know, like, hey, the secret, let's keep it a secret. Check out this clip.
Nobody.
Wow. Jim and I are great friends. We hang out a ton, mostly at work. But the fact that he told me his secret and no one else says everything about our friendship. And it is why I intend on keeping that secret for as long as I possibly can.
Oh, goodness.
For as long as I
What's
possibly
funny,
can.
too, is like Michael is going to obsess about that until he gets it out.
Oh, for
That
sure.
is
Oh,
just
yeah.
going to be his life, this secret, and that it's his, and that he knows it, and he wants to talk about it.
I love that when Jim walks in, that Michael calls him Jim Bag. This is the first. This is the first nickname I think we get for Jim, and it's a good one. Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
Hey, what's
that
up,
is
Jim
nice.
Bag? But yeah, Jim shares like, hey, this is a secret, and the only other person who knows is you, Michael. And so, we get Michael talking about their friendship. How much they hang out at work. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So Dwight, we cut back over to Dwight. He's getting ready to go on this investigation, and he needs to hand over the cleaning duties to somebody. So he decides the temp is the best idea.
Yeah.
And Ryan says, I think I can handle that. To which we get, do you think or do you
No.
know? And I love that Ryan is like, no, I think. And Dwight is like, well, I guess that's going to have to be. So then we cut back over to the break room, and Jim and Michael are in there, and Jim is buying a grape soda, and they're having a hangout. Stanley walks in to buy a soda as well, and Michael starts talking in code. Like, hey, do you want to talk about the PA or the P situation? The PA, PAM.
PAM.
It's all right. We're talking in code.
Yeah.
Jim gets the heck out of there, and Michael just is so frustrated with Stanley for how long it takes him to choose a soda. So he chooses for him. Peach tea. You're gonna hate it.
You're gonna hate it.
I love his face when he says that. So dang
He
good.
punishes him.
And for it being Stanley, he took that really well. Like,
Yeah,
you would expect
surprisingly.
Stanley to, like, say something or say, you better give me $1, boy.
Yeah.
Maybe he was thinking this is gonna be good for my diabetes.
I feel like Stanley feels like a peach iced tea guy.
He
I feel
could be.
He was probably gonna pick that. I feel like I like peach iced tea.
I like peach.
Oh, yeah,
iced tea.
sure.
He'll find a way to get him if not.
Yeah.
So then we got another clip here, but Dwight makes a phone call to Oscar to sort of check in on him. And we find out that Oscar made a trip to the pharmacy, and Dwight's doing the whole, oh, you're too sick to come to work, but you can go to the pharmacy, all that. And we're learning more about Dwight as a volunteer sheriff's deputy, his skills in identifying a liar. He shares some of those techniques, so let's check this out.
Go to the pharmacy.
There are several different ways to tell if a perp is lying.
A perp.
The liar
perp.
will avoid direct eye contact. The liar will cover part of his or her face with his hand, especially the mouth. The liar will perspire. Unfortunately, I spoke to Oscar on the phone, so none of this is useful.
Unfortunately.
Dang it, Dwight. So then we go back out to the bullpen, and I guess Jim is like restocking supplies or something. But Michael walks in with a grape soda, same soda that Jim was buying when he was in the break room, and comes in with a just that good classic line: "It's grape soda." It's got that good Tony the Tiger. And Dwight is very surprised. He's not having this. He's like, "Hey, there's something going on here. Like, you guys are being a little too chummy. You never drink grape soda, all that good stuff." And Michael's like, "Hey, we hang out all the time. We tell each other
True
secrets."
detective.
Mm-hmm.
It's all that training.
And Dwight basically says, "You know what, Michael? I can tell that you're telling the truth." when Jim sort of
He
like
is a professional.
Jim tries to basically like throw him off the scent of what the secret is about, and Michael is like, yes,
And he
that
is looking away from him in like every other direction that Dwight was just expressing.
Exactly. Michael doesn't even believe Michael.
Oh yeah, Michael does not believe Michael.
And Dwight, Michael, I can tell that you're telling the truth. It's good stuff. So then Michael is just like, oh man, quick thinking, Jim. That was awesome. He comes over to Jim's desk. He does the man stand on Jim's desk.
Oh yeah, the
Which
man stand.
Is always
Michael's been so gross in this episode. He's so weird.
When I was just watching this with my wife, she said I had a professor do that.
Me too.
It was a woman.
oh baby.
No.
Oh, that's
She's
so
like
good.
in a skirt.
Yeah, in a skirt.
Oh my gosh. I was gonna ask, have you ever had a boss man stand? Like it's somebody can man stand, and if nobody knows what we mean by man stand, Michael's doing it. It's where
Sure.
you
put your
you
foot
put
up.
one
Put
foot
your
up on
foot up.
something.
Yeah.
You just
And
hike a leg basically.
Yeah,
hike
and when
a
it's
leg.
a desk, that is so high.
But when you're sitting and somebody man stands in front of you, it's just the ultimate like. They might as well have slapped you in the face.
Sure.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I
It's like-
haven't got it, but I'm a girl, so I don't think a guy
It's like
would
putting
do
your
that to
crotch
me.
in
Yeah,
their face.
you're like,
That's what it's
hey,
doing.
This is an ultimate power move. Here's my junk in your
Yeah,
face.
exactly.
Oh,
That is exactly
I
it.
cannot wait for one of you to
To
do it
man
to the
stand
other.
you? Oh no.
That would be so funny. But I did have, it wasn't a professor. It was in high school. There was this creepy, like, American literature teacher that I had. He did a lot of things that was really gross. But he would walk around the office the classroom, and put his leg up on desks. We were high school students.
Okay, but the thing about in high school is like your desk is so like it's uncomfortably high. The same way that Michael is on
Yeah.
Jim's desk.
Yeah.
Like
It
there's-
was weird.
Yeah,
It
that
was
is weird.
Oh my gosh. So he totally man stands on Jim's desk and invites him to lunch, or maybe we can do a picnic and talk about you know who.
Ooh.
So we-
PAM.
Yeah, the PA
PAM
the
situation.
So to which Jim is like, yes, let's go out. We got to get out of here because
Yeah.
you're gonna spill the
He gets
beans.
nervous.
Michael says he knows the perfect place. They end up at Hooters.
Gosh.
So
I have zero, not one little experience with it.
that's very convincing. Adam Jones,
You're not lying.
You ever eaten at Hooters?
I don't think I actually have. No,
Good for you.
I don't think so.
We have eaten at Hooters before,
All right, tell me more.
and it was the most uncomfortable meal I've ever had in my entire
Oh,
life.
yes, yes.
Because when we went in there, it was like middle of the day, like middle of the afternoon. Hardly
Yeah.
anybody's in there.
When
Yeah.
he says we, he is talking about me and him
That's right.
together
Mm-hmm.
as one.
And when we're sitting in the booth, I look over to the other side of a restaurant, and like there's a guy and his wife and his small child,
Oh gosh,
Oh.
I don't remember
Eating
that,
at
but
Hooters.
No.
Oh,
and I'm sitting there with my wife
Yeah.
at Hooters, just the two of us in the middle of the day, and I'm just thinking to myself like, okay, Hooters itself, it's just a restaurant.
yeah, yeah.
But there
you
are
get
certain
food.
connotations.
I love that you're protecting me here.
I'm trying to be. Is there something that you want to share, Andy?
Yes, please.
I feel really guilty about this one because it was my idea, and I kind of.
That does not surprise me.
I
Just
kind of
wanna
had to
say that.
convince him a little bit because I've never been. It has this reputation. Honestly, who else am I going to go with? So if I want to be like, oh, what is this place? Like, let's just try it. Who else am I going to go with except my husband? And so he was adamantly
Yeah.
against it for a long time. And I'm like, you have to go with me to Hooters. I want to check it out. Like, is it like as weird as people say? What if the
Oh,
food
yes.
is really good?
Yes, it is definitely. I just
So I made him, and he was mad the whole time. And it was
Yes,
weird.
this
It
is
was as
great.
weird as people
we're
say.
sitting there. We're sitting there across the table from each other. The food is fine. It's not. It's nothing special.
I
restaurant.
love that
it's
Adam
bar
knew it was
food.
me. What are you trying to
No,
say?
I definitely thought in my mind. I was like, Andy probably just wanted to try going.
And
That's
so
what I thought.
in the restaurant is, like I said, this guy with his wife and his small child.
Yeah.
And I'm in the restaurant, but I can't help but judge him.
Why would you come here?
Exactly. And then I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, everybody in this restaurant is thinking that I was like, hey, you know what we should do today? I'm gonna take you to Hooters. You want to go to Hooters with me? Like,
I'm gonna
And
treat
it's
you
like
nice.
little quiet wife. No, I really don't want to go.
no, we're
But
going. I
yes.
said we're going to Hooters. I'm either
How can
going
I
by
say
myself
no?
or you're coming with me. Oh, it was
Just
just.
a good accent. I like that.
I
one.
just felt like everybody is like, look at this.
Judging you?
Look at this guy. He's here. Michael Scott. I felt like Michael
I
Scott.
should've
I felt
played
like
it up.
Jim with Michael Scott. Like you just.
I should have played it up and like slapped her hand every once in a while or pretended to cry. Been really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Hit
Oh,
my
there
head
you go.
down in my fries.
When the server gets there, she's like, "Why did you bring me here?" Oh, sorry.
I told you I didn't want to come.
Oh, the most
so
uncomfortable.
then, I mean, it just okay food, and then you ate,
you
and
just
then you-
eat as fast as you can. Continue to just look down at the table and get out of there.
And
That's
well,
funny.
we've never been back, so
No. Yeah, so Jim and Mike are at Hooters, and classic Michael Scott. Jim, you should order milk. That would be hilarious.
Oh gosh,
Get
this
it?
was so cringy. My stomach hurt a little. He was the worst Michael I've ever seen, and that's saying a lot because Michael is pretty bad.
This is pretty bad, Michael.
Yeah.
Well, and then he lets us know, why do I love Hooters? Well, there's two reasons.
No,
Which
stop.
he laughs, and then he
Michael.
says it's the boobs and the hot wings.
yeah.
No,
So there you go.
honest.
Yeah, he's an honest
And
man.
he starts laughing like a little kid.
Oh, he's just giddy as all.
Yeah.
Michael is in junior high in almost any situation, in a meeting, at work,
Sure.
in friendship, and in Hooters.
Oh, definitely.
He is a junior higher in Hooters.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that for him, Hooters isn't the new golf course.
That's right. Yeah.
Yikes.
That's good. Yeah.
I will say for Patreon, we are probably not going to go. Is there a Hooters in Utah?
Oh, I doubt
I
it.
definitely.
I would doubt
I don't
that.
see that happening.
Yeah, I would doubt that.
Anyways, so then Michael just embarrasses the heck out of Jim in front of the waitress. One of the things that's interesting here is that when Michael was inviting Jim to go to lunch, Jim was like, "Yeah, I'm just going to eat my ham and cheese." And he's like, "No, let's go out or whatever." They go out to eat. The first thing that Jim asks the waitress is, "How's your ham and cheese?"
I know.
Yeah,
for real.
he's lame.
He's just he's a man of
routine.
routine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for finding the word I couldn't find. In my
yeah,
head.
yeah.
That's why I married
That's what
her.
I'm here for.
And
Who are we? I'm annoyed with us right now.
Oh my god.
I'm
is like
just
our-
going to start rolling our eyes at us.
This is kind of the lovey-dovey episode. It's a little weird.
The Hooters episode.
Grrr. There's
so
two things I like about you.
Oh my
It has
god.
nothing to do with your boobs.
Dang it. So then Michael asks the $1 million question, how is the chicken breast? Which she describes great, perfectly. To which he says, that sounds great. I will have that. Hold the chicken. How many times do you think she's heard that joke?
Oh, a
My
lot.
gosh.
And Michael's asked it a lot.
Yeah, and we should have counted the amount of times that Jim shook his head no across the
Yeah.
table. He's constantly no, no,
just mortified.
please don't.
I have never felt so close to Jim as I have in this moment.
You kind of just want to hold his hand a little and be like, it's almost over.
Oh my gosh. And then when she asks him, "Do you really want that?" He's like, "No, I'll do the gourmet hot dogs."
Honestly, that sounds delicious.
Which, what the heck does that mean? Gourmet hot
Oh,
dog?
come
Probably got
on,
dressing
Mike.
on it and stuff.
Mike, our neighbor, makes
That's
the
true.
best hot dogs in the world. I have never had a hot dog better. I would describe that as a gourmet hot
Ooh,
dog.
that sounds good.
It is
so good.
actually really, really good. And this might be dangerous, but I decided to Google the words Hooters and gourmet hot dog.
Oh, gosh.
Did it come up with something?
No, it did not.
So my experience with a gourmet hot dog involves Costco-sized buns and hot dog.
She got them
And
Costco-sized
I'm
buns.
telling you,
Oh, sorry.
pickles
I don't want none unless.
and
okay,
the
fine.
special sauce, a barbecue sauce. I'm just gonna keep on going. And
You're-
forgot the rest.
I want you to
Pepperoncinis.
I want you to understand that in this moment right now on this podcast, you're describing
describing
how to make a hot dog.
this is an all-time low.
yeah.
Our viewership
And
has
this
never been
now,
lower.
now I really am moonwalking out of the.
Oh my gosh. So then, speaking of an all-time low, Dwight is at Pam's desk, and he's just like gorging himself on black jelly beans, and is like, "Why is there not more?"
His mouth is all like.
He has like teeth that make him look like, I don't know, like the Emperor
Yes.
or
Yeah,
somebody out of
yeah.
Game of Thrones. I don't know.
I don't know why I love it when people's mouths change color because of what they're eating. That to me is the funniest thing. Like when your mouth is purple because of a popsicle.
Oh my god, she's
That's-
literally
it's that
laughing.
funny, huh?
She's doing one of the laughs where there's no noise coming out about somebody eating a popsicle and they're
it's
having
so,
a purple mouth.
It's so funny when their mouth is colored, like
Oh
like
my
the
god.
popsicle, though.
Actually, we shouldn't say colored.
Okay.
That's...
Oh yeah, we can't say. I mean, it is.
No, you're good. You're good. Just so, are you down for a black jelly bean?
I don't know if I know what a black jelly bean is.
I mean, do you like black licorice?
Oh,
Nah,
No.
not really.
Yeah.
No, I like a grape jelly bean.
Oh baby, I could be down. They're grape.
It's grape.
They're grape. So he is eating all the black jelly beans. He is fishing through the jelly bean container just with his gross Dwight hands. And then he is just interrogating Pam about the last time she saw Oscar and what he sounded like. That he had like a sniffle. Well, there's 3 different ways to sniffle. Well, it was the second one, which she's just trying
Yeah,
to
I
get
love
rid
that.
of him.
She plays along really well.
And so she's just trying to get rid of Dwight and then throws away all the jelly beans because it's a communal bowl. Come on, Dwight. Jeez. So then they're back at Hooters. Michael is talking with Jim and he says, hey, I want to know, like, what do you like about Pam? He says she's easy to talk to, all that kind of stuff. Michael mentions her boobs.
Yeah,
So-
he specifically
The
asked
chicken
about.
breasts.
Good job.
Yes.
Good job, Michael. And then Jim, while they're sitting there, all of a sudden the servers come and they have like an apron and we have a birthday boy and they sing "Put Your Front Side In" and "Shake It All About," all that good stuff.
Did you guys do that when you went to?
No.
Next time.
Oh, next
Tomorrow
time.
when we go.
Yeah, when we go.
When we go
Out to
again,
lunch
we'll do
together.
that.
There's not enough no's for me to say it.
He's just Jim
Hey,
shaking his head.
I just want to say I haven't been yet, so
We'll,
we
we'll
might have
take
to
you.
go.
Patreon.
For your birthday. When's your birthday?
Here's
Let me guess.
January.
Oh, man.
my birthday's in
you didn't let me
January
guess.
too. We could
I bet
Me
we could
too.
make a trip over to the Sin Bin over
could-
in Nevada.
in
and they got-
Wendover.
Yeah.
It would be the most uncomfortable recording we've ever done. Like it's just constant anxiety in my voice the entire time.
So I just googled
You
Hooters.
talk extra high
There's
like
there's a Hooters listing in the Salt Lake City Valley, and it says closed.
this.
So
Not
like
surprising.
for
Did
good.
not do
and
well.
it has a 2 rating.
Yeah, not surprising.
It's because they didn't sing the song.
That's right. That's
right.
right. So Jim gets a birthday song and all that good stuff. This is sort of a prank that Michael pulls on Jim. Like
without intending to.
sort
almost.
of. Now, the other thing that was interesting about this moment is the look on Jim's face. Jim has been uncomfortable the whole time. Okay. But when this goes down, Jim is like kind of like laughing and having a good time. Here's my question, and we can get a little meta for a second.
Uh-huh.
Do you think that this was a legitimate thing that Steve Carell pulled on John Krasinski and they recorded it and then just kept it in the show?
Taking him to I
Because
can
when
see
you
that.
look
Maybe.
at Jim's face, it has just that flavor of like,
Like, this is funny.
yeah, like this might not have been expected. I don't know. I just noticed that when I was watching it. So
And
that would be really cool.
We don't have a clip for it. All right.
I don't have the time code on it. But
Sure.
yeah, sorry. We have to go back and review it.
Okay.
So then Jim and Michael are back. Jim shows that he got a souvenir. He shows Pam his Hooters
Free
shirt.
T-shirt.
And Dwight basically says that he has an update that he is for Michael regarding Oscar. He's interviewed everybody in the office, and Michael is like, just go to his house and see if he's sick.
I would have had it done in like 20 minutes.
Exactly. I
Yeah.
could have done this whole thing in 20 minutes.
Dwight's a little insulted.
He is. He's like, even with the prep time? Which, what does that even mean? He had to polish his
Adam would know.
magnifying
If
glass?
anybody would
Yeah.
know about prep time,
Prep time.
Adam would know.
There you go.
Why is that? Why do I know so much about prep time?
Tell me about it, Adam.
Mm.
If you were to prep for a stakeout, what would that look like for you?
Go buy binoculars.
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 Binoculars. everybody.
Binoculars.
So then we see Ryan and how he's handling his cleaning duties. He's spraying some sort of random cleaner into an empty drawer and then closing it. And he just we get sort of a glimpse into his mental state. He says, I could literally clean out my desk in 3 minutes and be out of here, and it would be like I never existed. And that he would forget about it as well. So there you go.
Poor Ryan.
Poor Ryan.
I don't feel sorry for you.
Nah. So then we cut back over to Jim, and we see Michael in the background, and he's like deciding to like mess up his hair to like look more
Cool
like
guy
Jim.
Mike.
Yeah. What do you think this is about? Like, what is it? What is
Oh,
it after their hangout time that Michael decides I need to like make my appearance more like Jim?
he wants to be more like Jim, cool guy Jim, you know?
Is it just like this is going to help us like be closer friends?
Yeah.
Or something like that? Okay.
Yeah, it must. I mean, in a weird way that Michael thinks.
Okay.
Maybe it's gonna help him get the chicken breast.
There you go.
Hold the chicken.
Oh my gosh. Hold the chicken. So then he goes to turn in the receipt for the expense at Hooters, to which I love that Kevin says, "Michael, is that a wig?"
Yes. I mean, it looks
Because
dry.
Kevin would know.
To which Michael responds, "Kevin, is that a wig?"
Yeah.
Just so messed up to freaking Kevin. Dang it,
So
dude.
insensitive.
Yeah, and so Angela is like, you can't turn in a Hooters receipt. Did Toby approve it? I don't need Toby's approval. All that good stuff.
I love how she makes everything her business.
Yes, and then
But I genuinely would have wanted to know too.
well, it's interesting because then we go back to Toby, and Toby's like, "I am not going to like you just got
Yes.
your corporate card back," and we find out that Michael had lost his credit card for a while because he bought $80 worth of items at a magic shop to impress clients.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there's something interesting about that little interview that he does real quick where he's talking about like when he's talking about that part.
Yeah.
If you look at his hand, he's wearing a fake thumb.
Oh, he
No,
is right then.
I didn't catch
Yes.
that.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And so I don't know. I don't know if like he was going to do a trick or he was going to do something and they cut it out. But if you go back and watch the clip where he's doing his own stand-up interview, just him talking about spending the $80 on magic items.
Wow.
Look at his right thumb. There's
He's got
a
a fake
fake
thumb.
like a fake thumb on there.
That is
Like he's
so
using it
funny.
right now.
Oh, it's
Like
so
how?
ridiculous.
What magic trick would you have done that involved losing a thumb?
Maybe he's going to do the old thing you used to
Oh,
do
yeah,
to kids, where you're like,
Well, you can do that, or I
Still
know
your
I
nose.
know some stuff about magic. But yeah, if you ever like,
you would.
I actually really like a show on TV. It's super nerdy. You ever heard of Penn and Teller's Fool Us?
oh yeah.
Actually love
It's
watching
legit.
that show.
It's great,
It's
yeah.
fun. But yeah, you could like stick something in there too.
Oh,
Like
Like
like if you put
what?
the handkerchief like, oh, I'm gonna make it go into my hand and then disappear. You stuff it into the fake
The
thumb,
fake thumb.
and then you have it in your
boom,
Yeah.
boom. There you go.
yeah. So
And so we have a clip here where Toby is basically saying like, I'm not going to be able to approve this expense, Michael. And then Michael explains why this lunch was so important and why it should be. So check this out.
Not from us.
I'm not processing this.
Look, Jim needed a relaxing lunch. He has been depressed, and it has been affecting his productivity. How is that not work-related?
He seems fine to me.
You're not his friend. You don't know. He is in love with a girl he works with who's engaged, so just cut me some slack, please.
Pam? Of course, Kelly just pops up out of nowhere.
yeah,
Michael's like, oh God,
he
what
looks
have I done?
dead. He is very upset with himself.
This is what our coworker Nick, who we need to have on the show soon, would say
Yes.
is the tea.
What's the T?
What's the
Give me the
tea?
T.
That's what the kids are saying. What is the T?
I don't get that. Is it lit? Is it the T like the letter T, like the truth, or is it like what's the
He-
T like a cup of tea?
He tried to explain it to me, and apparently it's from this. I don't know if she's a YouTuber or Instagrammer that like
gosh.
does like this thing where she goes to Starbucks and gets like an iced tea thing. I think I'm gonna get murdered if this is not right. But then like she'd be like on like her phone, like in her car, like what's the tea? Like I think that's what it is.
But what is she
Oh my
asking?
gosh.
What's the
She's
secret
asking
of
what's
the
the
tea?
what's the scoop? What's the gossip?
What's the scuttlebutt?
Yeah, what's the scuttlebutt?
Why do we need to say what's the T? That
Why
doesn't make
can't
any
we
sense.
say scuttlebutt?
We can say scuttlebutt. It makes sense.
Yeah.
Is it because we're a whole generation older than
I
him?
don't know.
Did I,
we'll
did
have
I
to-
just say that out loud? Is there? Can we?
Urban Dictionary says
Uh-oh.
when someone has gossip and you want to know every detail.
See, and it's spelled TEA.
Yeah.
So
like tea.
today I was
So I think
sending
I'm
a
right.
text
That is
saying,
the
"What's
dumbest.
the T?" And Rob was like, "Is it spelled like that or with just a T?" I'm like, "What?" I have no idea.
If you're within the range of my voice, that is the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Oh my
What's
gosh.
the T?
What's the tea?
Anyways, so it becomes
Gossip,
clear
gossip.
that Jim's secret is out.
Yeah.
Everybody is finding out. Everybody's talking about it.
Is it that surprising though?
No,
Is it
everybody
that big
knew.
of a secret?
Everybody knew this was
Or
coming.
is that just like, well, duh?
We get Angela and
Wait, who do you have a crush on in your office? Oh, dang, I forgot.
What?
I forgot that your wife wasn't there anymore.
She doesn't work there anymore, so.
So now that's just awkward.
No one.
I retract my question.
Not to one. Not to one. So everybody knows about it. So we got like Angela and Phyllis doing some cleaning, and Phyllis is like, "Who would you choose, Jim or Roy?" To which Angela says, "It's nobody's business, but I would pick Roy."
And I would love to know why.
Angela would pick Roy.
Angela picked Dwight.
They're just trying to pair up two characters that you're supposed to hate together. I swear that's what it is.
I guess. Kevin asks if Jim asks Michael if he thinks that Jim will try to break up the wedding. To which Michael says, "You know what? The only people that this concerns is Jim and Pam, and me."
That's right.
So then we cut over to Dwight, who is sitting outside of Oscar's house on a stakeout. He is eating his PB&J, and he's letting us know that as a sheriff's deputy, he's gone on stakeouts before. He had a girlfriend that he thought was cheating, so he followed her for 6 days, and it turns out that she was cheating with multiple guys. So mystery solved. Great. So then Kelly, as Jim is nearing the bathroom, Kelly confronts him and says, "Why didn't you tell me about your crush with Pam?" Jim now knows, cat's out of the bag. I need to go talk to Michael.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to go talk to Pam.
Talk to Pam too. Yeah.
So that's what he does. He actually goes to Pam, and they're in the kitchen. They're making small talk, and Jim tells he tells Pam that he told Michael on the booze cruise, "I had a crush on you. It was a while ago." She's like, "I kind of knew about it. It's no big deal. Are you going to be totally awkward in front of me?" "Oh yeah, for sure." Makes a little joke. Cool guy Jim.
Cool guy Jim.
I wonder, okay, so we know why Jim went and told her, because he's worried about it
I want you to
coming
hear it
out.
from me and not from Michael.
Yeah.
He
But
says.
why would she think that he's telling her that? Like, if somebody came up to me and started saying, "Hey, 3 years ago this is how I felt," fine, okay, but why?
The only thing I can think of is that he mentions, "I told Michael, and I want you to hear it from me."
Oh, I
before,
didn't. Okay, I
and not
forgot that he
Michael's.
mentioned that.
So he's like, "You're probably going to hear it from Michael," which she
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
But he's like, as she's leaving, he says, "And I just want to let you know, it was 3 years ago. I'm totally over it." Pam's walking out. She looks a little bit disappointed in this
Yeah, a
moment.
little
Does she
bit.
not?
Yeah.
She's like, "That is not what I wanted to hear." Interesting, Pam. So then Oscar pulls into his own driveway. Dwight says that he's been gone for about 2 hours. Dwight confronts him as Oscar's getting out of the car with
so
his...
I would just like to mention that that's not a 20-minute job, Michael.
No.
Not when they're gone
2
for 2
stakeout.
hours and you gotta wait.
It required it. He got there. The sun was still up. He had to eat a sandwich to keep his
Peanut butter and
sustenance.
jelly.
Yeah. Totally.
And now the sun is down. He's working overtime. Good for Dwight. He gets out. He confronts Oscar. Oscar's there with his ice skates and a friend, just a buddy,
A buddy.
or maybe a roommate.
A roommate.
Yeah, Gil.
Gil.
Yeah.
So
So Dwight's
Gilligan's Island.
the skipper. So
Hey, Gilbert.
That was a good one. That was funny. So then Dwight, Oscar's like, "You're not going to tell Michael, are you?" And Dwight is basically saying he won't tell Michael, but you will owe me a big, big favor for me to call in anytime I choose.
Yep.
And so Dwight is gonna.
We gotta remember that. This is gonna be good.
Yeah, he's gonna hold Oscar to the fire. But then Dwight decides to stay and watch a movie.
Yeah.
With Oscar and Gil.
If you think about it, what else has he got going on?
Oh, he's
She's
got
like, all right,
nothing.
these guys seem cool. I'm just gonna
And I
walk
can just
on
see
in.
Oscar being like, "Hey, oh, thanks, buddy. Like, thanks for not telling. Why don't you just come in and watch a movie with us?"
Yeah. And it
If
seems
I'm
like
being honest, if I were Dwight and Oscar was like, "Hey, do you want to hang out?" I totally would.
Yeah.
Oscar's cool. I'd be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, sure, that sounds great." And chips, yeah.
And I mean, Oscar and Gil seem pretty excited about it because it's like while they're watching the movie, and whenever Dwight is like leaning forward, it's like Oscar keeps trying to like, I don't know,
Yes.
high five Gil. Maybe is that what's?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
It's like he's just
sure.
trying. He's trying to like high five him or something.
Oh,
Sure,
yeah.
that's what's going
So
on.
his
high five.
roommate Gil.
A little
Yes.
like
So
hand game that's
Yeah.
going. 'Cause
Yeah, they're, like,
when
trying to
I
fist
play
bump.
hand games.
I think the kids call it getting handsy.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Oh.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So they're just, they're roommates, buddies.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
So then we have a clip here, but Jim decides now, okay, it's time to confront Michael. Let me go in and figure out, Michael, what happened? We had a secret. What the heck happened? So let's check out this clip.
Hey,
I know. I know.
what happened?
I was trying just the expense reports, and then Toby, he just,
Always
I
Toby.
know. I just
That Toby.
hope that. I just hope that this doesn't affect our friendship. Stupid. It's so stupid.
Hey, whoa. Listen, man, it's not a big deal.
Well, okay.
gonna
I'm
be
fine.
fine.
No, I know. I'm good. It's just.
Look, it's one day. Everything's gonna be all right.
Yeah.
No big deal. You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Nice little crotch hug right there.
It's just so funny how it's almost like a little kid that you come in on. You're like, what happened? And they're just like break down, and you're like, oh, it's okay. It's not a big deal.
You're definitely not gonna die.
Good guy Jim extending some grace to Michael here. Oh my gosh. I love to, Andi pointed this out while we were watching it. If you watch it with the captions on, Michael says, I just hope this doesn't affect our friendship. And then he starts weeping. And then in parentheses, it says, Michael sobs. So good. And then Jim just, he plays the cool guy, forgives him, and they're going to move on. It's just one day. It'll be good. So then as the episode is wrapping up, Ryan is asking Creed, hey, did you organize the menu book? And Creed is like, I thought that was like on a volunteer basis. No, it's kind of mandatory. Oh, okay. I thought it was volunteer.
And then like glasses on, back to work, like out of my face.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I decided not to.
that sounds like a thing that I'm not going
gonna
to do.
Yep.
Creed of Sound Mind.
Well, and the truth is, what
Right?
is a menu
Yeah.
board?
Menu book. I think it's, like at the office, not at our office, which we should maybe talk about this, but at offices, like they'll have like all the takeout menus. Maybe, and they'll have them like organized, like local takeout stuff that for lunch.
I did
maybe.
not think that until you said it. Now makes sense.
That's what I assumed it
Well,
was.
and our office never gets takeout, so why would we? We should.
We should.
We should start.
Unless like, I don't know, because they would call it catalogs though. I was gonna say maybe like it's a menu as in like what they offer as an organization.
No,
But that's a catalog.
No,
and why
I
would
think-
you?
I think your
And
first
Michael's
one's
not that
right.
responsible. I definitely think it's takeout.
Yeah, it's definitely takeout. Highest,
Yes.
Make that your highest priority.
Yeah, the takeout menus.
But Creed still of sound mind. He's still
Hasn't snapped. Although he's being a jerk right now.
yeah. He's
but
kind of he's being a little bit of a jerk. But
yeah.
so then Pam is coming into Michael's office. She brings him his schedule for next week, and Michael sort of accidentally spills to Pam. So when Jim confronted her, he said, "Hey, it was like 3 years ago. I'm totally over it." Michael sort of spills like,
The truth.
no, when he told me, it was like he had a crush on you at the booze cruise.
Yeah.
And Pam is like a little bit surprised. Do we see hope in her eyes again?
Yeah, she's
little
definitely
bit.
curious.
A little bit. Okay.
I think so, a little bit.
And
Well,
they're
if somebody had a crush on you recently, you'd be curious. Fine.
well, as they're leaving, so now we cut to Jim. He's getting his jacket. He's getting his stuff together. Pam is getting her stuff together. He's like, they're going to walk out together. Hey, you ready to go? He sort of leads the way. We got Pam behind him trailing. And there's just this look on her face. Like, maybe she's a little bit hopeful about that.
Yeah.
And as we see them leaving, we get a narration from Michael talking about, like secrets. Like he doesn't want to have secrets. Like it's just too much. And he recently watched this movie on Cinemax.
Oh gosh,
I
I didn't catch that.
more secrets of a call girl.
Okay.
About this girl who she was framed for murder. So then in response to that, she moved to Malibu to work in a bordello. And he doesn't want to live that life.
Of course not.
He doesn't want to be her. He likes being Michael.
And
Yeah.
the truth is, Michael would never survive that. Ever.
Oh my gosh. So there you go. And so as the episode wraps up, the cat's out of the bag. Pam knows. Seems like there's a little bit of hope. Jim and Michael are best friends. And Oscar has a new friend.
A new buddy.
A new buddy
we
that
like you.
they just keep high-fiving each other for some reason. It's weird. So there you go. That is season 2, episode 13 of The Office, The Secret. Now,
Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun.
that's good.
Damn.
Sports Center. So
Yes.
then this is always the part where we like to throw it out to the audience and say, hey, what was your favorite part? What resonated with you? So a couple here from Instagram. Our buddy Ethan, who was on last week. If you didn't listen to last week, you need to go listen.
that was
Go back
fun,
and listen.
We
That
had
was awesome.
Date Mike himself, Ethan Pope, sat in, and he responded here. He said his favorite was "You should order milk," which is just the most. This is the worst. And then another listener and follower on Instagram, Emmeline27, said probably when Michael makes his hair look like Jim.
Yeah.
just trying to
I
fit
like
in.
that too. Yeah.
Just wants to be a buddy. And then over on Twitter, the Unlucky Ones podcast at @TUO_podcast, if you want to check them out. They said that their favorite part was, I'll have the chicken breast, hold the chicken. Dang it, Michael Scott.
Classic.
There you go. And so now usually we'd look at a prank that Jim pulled. No prank from Jim this time. Michael maybe pulled a prank. We need to look into that. I'm wondering if that was a Steve Carell
Sure.
legitimate on John Krasinski
We're going
prank.
to Hooters.
Because it looked so, the look on his face was awesome. But just a little bit of a review here. In first place, or let's start at third. Season 2, episode 5, Halloween. Jim and Pam put Dwight's resume all over the internet. That has 23 out of 30. Season 2, episode 11, The Booze Cruise. Dwight's all of his personal effects in the vending machine. 25 Shroot Bucks out of 30. And still reigning supreme, first place. Season 2, episode 6, The Fight. Jim puts Dwight's desk in the bathroom. 26.
It's a good one.
We like bathroom jokes.
It is.
26 out of 30. Shroot Bucks, baby.
Is it hard to be
Here.
host? Here,
All
let me
right.
try. So now we're moving
Yeah,
on
you're
to
good.
one of our
Oh, sure, I screwed it
favorite
up.
segments that Adam Jones likes to lead us on. It is called.
Nope.
It is called.
Let me
Okay.
give the
It
shtick and
is
you can-
called Reddit Schmeddit.
Oh my god.
Let's head on over to the Schmet night of Reddit.
Oh boy.
Go, take it away, Adam.
You know what? That was fine. Let's just go with it.
Yeah. We'll take that. I do think Andy's probably the funny one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe you.
All right. So I have a long list of saved posts from the Dunder Mifflin subreddit.
As always, link in the show notes so you
in
can
the
see what
show
we're looking at.
notes,
So
you
take a
can
look at that.
see it. There's one for sure that we'll probably just put in the show notes regardless because it's good. It doesn't translate over podcast very well, but it's
Yes.
still
An
still
honorable
funny.
mention.
Honorable mention. There
So
you
it's,
go.
you know, okay. So right in the show notes, if you go, you're going to see Dundie Winner. That's what we're getting
Okay.
ready to talk about.
Okay.
But there is an honorable mention one. It'll say honorable mention. It doesn't translate well to us to describe it, but we watched it and it's like a GIF, and it
Oh,
is
it's so good.
so good.
Yes.
So just click on that one too. But anyway, Adam Jones.
I have a lot of choices because there's a lot of cultural posts that are getting mixed into Dunder Mifflin. So there are posts still about Netflix going to be dropping The Office that people are
Sure.
still referencing. There's still people that I saved some from still back in June when it was Pride Month that
Oh,
are
sure. Yeah.
still super funny. There's ones I was looking for today to make sure that they were picking up on it. Some Area 51. Have you been keeping up? There's just a lot of talk about Area 51 on Reddit. I'll just put it on that. There's a lot happening with it.
We've been sharing some between our little
Oh,
text thread.
Yeah,
It's so
so
good.
it's all going on right now. I think this one is still. Oh man, I just can't pick. I guess we'll go with this one right now. We'll reference back to June, and I'll throw it up on our screen here. But it's just from an episode that we have covered, so that'll help you a little bit. But it's from user Garrett Blackburn.
Wait, have we? I don't think we've done this episode yet.
No, we have.
No.
Did
Oh,
we not?
no, we did
we
not.
haven't.
No,
oh,
you're
you're
right.
right.
You're
I'm
thinking
thinking
this is Diversity Day.
That's
No,
right.
no.
Because
No,
we
it's-
don't know this about
But it's coming
Oscar
up.
yet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's coming up actually very soon. I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
But they're friends. They're just roommates.
Yeah.
Adam Jones.
Gil and Oscar.
Okay,
Yes.
then spoiler alert.
Yeah, our
It's awesome.
listeners know. Yes.
Yeah.
So the title from user Garrett Blackburn is, "I sincerely don't know who made this, but this is funny." And yes, it is. It's a picture of Michael kissing Oscar on the lips.
Yes.
It's
And
definitely unwanted.
yes, it is definitely unwanted, and he's backing up. But it's Michael is with this title on his head, corporations during Pride Month, basically, and then Oscar is on this the gays is the
says
title of it. Gays, yes.
Yeah.
However you want to put it and not sound
Oh my
incorrect,
gosh.
but it's just funny because I think this is it's still just ripping on Pride Month and corporations.
The corporations, just,
Yeah, somebody made even a compilation video of all the businesses that had like rainbows as their Instagram like profile, and then as soon as July hits, they all are gone.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
So it's just very showing
awesome.
of that.
Oh my gosh. It's so good.
You obviously really liked that.
Yes, that is like the perfect visual. I mean, just to be clear, nothing against Pride Month at all.
Sure.
It's interesting to see.
Pride Life.
Yeah, it's just interesting to see corporations sort of like sell out for 30 days.
Oh, they sell out.
And then just forget about it
And then
for the
it's
rest of
gone.
the year.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah. In fact, I do think I remember watching them on Hulu yesterday, and they actually had a commercial that said something to the effect of like, at all times of the year are Pride something, and they were like promoting their Pride, but like that's like the only company I've seen that's like actually like sticking with it other than June.
Sure, yeah, sure. So that's just, it's so great.
Yeah.
Because the other part of it too is that Michael isn't necessarily enjoying it either.
Yeah, he doesn't know
He's got the, like,
what he's
furrowed
doing.
brows,
Yes.
like what's going on here,
Gosh.
and then Oscar's like, "Oh gosh, please no."
Yeah. That's awesome. Very good, Adam Jones. I love it. I love it. All right. So that brings us to the end of the episode. So as always, thank you guys so much for listening. Make sure, once again, you rate and subscribe on iTunes. If you leave us that 5-star, we're going to read it online. I mean, read it on the air. It's going to be great. We will read it online also.
Sure. Yeah.
Because that's where it is. Make sure that you tell a friend about the show. As I said before, great tangible way to help out the show, help it to grow, all that good stuff.
And
Didn't
your
mean for that
friends
to
will love you
rhyme,
more.
but it did.
If you want to be loved by your friends, and if you want to make more friends, then just tell them about this podcast, and your friendship grows.
There you go. That's right. And once again, make sure you check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/anofficepod, A-N, Office Pod. $3 a month, access to the after party at Poor Richard's. And like we said, tonight, in honor of The Secret, we will be talking about our deepest, darkest secrets.
And underwear.
And even the ones that we don't want out.
That's right.
I shared a few of theirs.
And some people will share secrets about other people without telling them, and it just happens. Anyways, and for your homework this week, make sure you watch Season 2, Episode 14, The Carpet. It's about to get grody up in here, so that's going to be great. And also this week, just, tell somebody a secret. Just confide.
Now's the time.
Get yourself a confidant, baby.
Yeah.
It's good for you. All right. Good job, guys.
Yeah.
Oh, don't we do the like?
That was another good one.
You're the I thought you were going to host it.
Yeah, and here you go. So I'm Andi.
I'm Rob.
And I'm Adam.
And this is
Everybody in the Conference Room.
I rock.